Yeah, Friday! Welcome to the Ranting Weight Watcher podcast, the future #1 weight loss podcast in the world. I am your host, Donato Russo. I hope you enjoy the show today. If this is your first time here and you enjoy the show, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. If the podcast app you're listening on allows you to rate the show, please leave a 4-star or 5-star rating. Any rating is greatly appreciated. This is episode 93. We got a packed show planned, so let's get into this. Journey updates. Good week this week. We are down 3.2 pounds. This is almost the entire gain we had last week. We got 0.2 remaining for that gain before we're back with our head above water. For the month of May, we are down 5.2 pounds. Total lost since January 2019 is 146.8 pounds. We are 3.2 pounds away from the 150-pound milestone charm. We are 28.2 pounds away from the 175-pound milestone charm. And we are 53.2 pounds away from the 200-pound milestone charm. I had mentioned that if we're going to change the perception of how we see ourselves, that it starts in our own mind. And the way we have to see ourselves for what we really are is to see ourselves in the truth of what it is, to decide what about us is the truth and what about us is a lie. In other words, are you really on the plan that you chose? Or are you watching other people be on the plan that you chose? Are we living what we say we're doing? Or are we here just to tell everybody else that this is what we're doing? It's a sketchy subject, because facing the truth of your current situation is never a comfortable one. Yet it is necessary. If you're ever going to change the perception of how you see yourself, it has to start with the truth of your situation. Because you know what? The reason we could stand in front of a mirror and despise what we see is because deep down in our mind's eye, we know the truth of what we do. Whatever we may perceive in public as a success, or whatever we perceive in public as a non-scale victory, whatever we perceive in public whenever we're on social media, whatever it is, and what we see when we're in the mirror, oftentimes in life, the two are in direct conflict. The core of what we're trying to do here, to get you to perceive yourself in a different way, is to resolve the conflict between the person you see in the mirror and the person that exists on social media, wherever else. Now, I want you to ask yourself something. Are you on plan, or are you just pretending? Are you the same person who started this journey, or are you simply not where you want to be yet? I want you to think about these answers. Does what you say to people match what is actuality? Or is it false? Think about these things. I want you to, it would be wonderful if you could have pen and paper in hand and listen to this episode. Because I really want you to get down and deep with this. And I'm going to kind of end this episode with a challenge. Okay? Now, I'm sure you already have answers in your head for the questions I've asked. And I want you to ask yourself one more. Do any of these answers you've whispered in your own mind seem impossible to fix? I think it is time for you to make the list of things that need to be done in order for you to be living what you say. That's why I want you to have pen and paper in hand. We're going to take a break. Go and get your pen and paper and join me back after the break. Hello, I'm Donato Russo, and I am the Ranting Weight Watcher. I wrote an affirmation. It's called the Ranter's Creed. I dedicate that affirmation to all of you who are watching. Nothing can stand in your way because you are an unstoppable force. Your challenges crumble in your presence because you are so strong. Your insecurities no longer have power over your life because you are so confident. Your mistakes are your choices, and you are okay with this because you are so intelligent. The mirror and the scale no longer haunt you because you are so beautiful. You can face any circumstance with unwavering support because you are so loved. The demons of your past can no longer torment you because you love yourself. All things are possible as long as you believe because God is on your side. You will achieve all of your goals, not if, but when, because you have no boundaries. You are the champion of your story because you do whatever it takes to win. No one can take what you've done away from you because you are the author and the hero of your story. Arise, champion. The victory is yours. Because you are enough. And we are back. Thanks for sticking with me. I think it was Robert Schuller who said, "By the yard is hard, but by the inch is a cinch." This is the core of what everything that Weight Watchers tells you to create small, achievable goals. All of these things that they say, this is like the core. By the yard is hard, but by the inch is a cinch. It's all wrapped up in a nice bow. So how do we change the perception? Here's the mission. The mission is to take away the power from the scale, because your perception of yourself is based on the result on the scale. And I'm telling you, and I have told you over weeks and weeks' time, that the result on the scale is one small part of this entire journey, and it cannot be the end-all be-all. So the idea is to take the power away from the scale by valuing something different. We are all in this position in life to need a healthy lifestyle for certain reasons. Whatever those reasons are, the details of them aren't really important. But what you did to create the problem was you formed habits and rituals. These habits and rituals did not condone a healthy life. And this is why we are in the position we are in. So in order to create a new perception of the person you are, we need to create new habits and new rituals. I've been saying this for months, that the scale cannot have power anymore if you have value in the work you're putting in. If you're not doing the work, the scale has all of the power. And you will constantly feel like a failure because you have no confidence in the work you are putting in. So how do we create new habits, new rituals in the work we do? Everything is measurable with regards to the work. That's why I want you to have a pen and paper in hand. That's why I want you to create a list, because the list is of the things where are you weakest. I want a list of weaknesses you have toward this journey. What is it you are not doing that the most successful people do on a daily basis? I need you to write those things down. Now, if that's tracking, if that's weighing and measuring, if that's exercise, whatever it is, we need to create a list. This has to be in writing. Because true accountability is when you put things into the universe in writing, when you put it in public, whatever it is. Now, I have a group on Facebook. And that group is called the RWW Consistency Challenge. And there's a group of 60 individuals in that group. And I swear to God, these guys are warriors. They do what they have committed themselves to achieve consistency in whatever they feel like they're lacking consistency in. And they work hard. And I invite you to that group. If you don't have Facebook, and maybe this would be the only reason you can have a Facebook account, I don't know where else I can create this group where this can exist outside of Facebook. I can't create groups in Connect. I cannot create groups in Instagram. It's not shaped this way. So I have this group already there. And there's already people there working on becoming consistent in life. And they all keep each other accountable. So once you're done making this list, If you can join Facebook, if you can find the consistency group and join, then it becomes you're in a brotherhood of people who are working to become consistent in something, and they are all becoming your accountability partners instantly. And so you make a list, then you make a plan. And this plan has to be detailed. And I want one thing at a time that you're working on. I don't want you to go and try and tackle all of your deficiencies at once. It cannot happen. You didn't form all these habits all at once. They all came over years and years and years of work. You may not want to see your attacking the refrigerator at 9 o'clock at night to get a piece of cake as something you've been working on for years, but in reality, it is. The behavior was learned over years and years' time that going into that refrigerator for whatever the core reason is and getting a piece of cake at 9 o'clock at night or something sweet in that, for that matter, to do that, the act of doing that was learned over time. It was not learned overnight. The idea is to create consistency in doing now what is required to live a healthy lifestyle. We have to counteract what has been done for years and years and years. So now if you think back in time for how long you've been working on, how long have you been working on being in the position you are in? I'm not talking about from when you started your weight loss plan. I'm talking about from what put you in the position to need the weight loss plan. How long were you working on that? How many years, decades even, were you working on that before you decided enough was enough and you tried to join something? That number is the number we're working with here. That's the number we're working against. Because it's that many years of habits and rituals that put you into this position to need a healthy lifestyle or to need changes toward a healthy lifestyle. So let's say you're here because you need to track. Then you have to create a declaration. And this declaration, and that's why I say if you join the consistency challenge, you can make that declaration. And the people that see this declaration are the people that are also making declarations and working toward consistency in their lives. They know exactly what you're going through. None of us is new to this. None of us has problems that a million other people haven't had. But when you work to try to fix those problems, that's when all of the other problems present themselves to try and stop you from doing what you need to do. So you're going to make this declaration, and this declaration has to be small goals, but very, very detailed. The more detailed you make this declaration, the more measurable your success becomes. If your problem is tracking, then your detailed declaration would sound something like, I declare that I am going to track full days, 3 days a week for 4 weeks. I will make no changes to this declaration until I have achieved 3 times a week for 4 weeks. The days that I do these tracking do not matter. 1 week, if I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and the next week, if I do Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I am not a failure because it's different days. There are 7 days in a week, and any 3 of those days applies to this full tracking declaration. If I miss one, I will get it on another. If your goal is to achieve consistency in exercise, your declaration may sound like this. I declare that 3 days of the week, I will walk for 20 minutes. I will do this for 4 weeks. I will not make any changes to this declaration until the end of the 4 weeks I have committed to. And at that point, once you make these declarations, now it's about accountability. Posting whatever it is you say you're going to do in the consistency challenge is a way to make yourself accountable. A way to make yourself accountable to all of the people that will give you the support that you need. I don't get anything out of having you join the Facebook group. For me, in my mind, it's just an easy way where you have a small group of people all working toward the same thing. And this small group of people is mighty, and they're strong, and they lift each other up all the time. And two of my most favorite people that have influenced my journey the most are in that group. My coach Terry and my coach Sophie are both in that group. And they would encourage and uplift anyone in that group that ever needed it. I have no doubt in my mind. So many times I get these emails, I get these text messages. And they say, "Oh my God, you inspire me. Oh my God, I just heard your podcast and you motivate me." And now I ask you this. What good is the inspiration? What good is the motivation if it's never put into action? The whole goal of what I'm telling you is today is for you to achieve the one thing so many people do not do. And that is to do what you said you were going to do. Because doing what you say you're going to do is the new success story. It is the new measurable aspect of your journey that has nothing to do with the scale. And if you could achieve consistency in all of the things that you wrote on this list today, the scale cooperates in the end. It has no choice. So I'm sitting here trying to think of a way to get you guys there, to make it easier for you guys. Okay, so if you want to join the Facebook group, the only way I could think to do that is if you go to Facebook and search RWW Consistency Challenge. Another way, a direct link, if you search Linktree / The Ranting Weight Watcher. If you do that on Google, Linktree / The Ranting Weight Watcher, you'll find my Linktree page. And this page has all of the links of all of the ways you can connect with me on social media, whatever it is. And I put 2 direct links to my 2 groups. I have the Consistency Challenge group, and then I just have the podcast group. You don't have to join both. All I'm saying is they're both there. And this is an easy way for you to find the group without having to search too much. Once you find my Linktree page, there are all of the links for anything you may need to connect with me in any way. That's the only way I could think we can pull this off. Another thing I thought of is if you don't have a Facebook page and you don't wish to join Facebook, another thing you can do, since we can't create a group in WW Connect, if you can tag me in a post when you create it to keep yourself accountable. And how you do that is the @ symbol and then my screen name on Connect, which is Ranting Weight Watcher. So @Ranting Weight Watcher, if you put that at the end of your post for accountability on Connect, I will see it. It will say someone mentioned you in their post, and I'll be able to go to the post and see what you posted in regards to wanting to make your declaration or posting for accountability, whatever it is. If you wanted to do it more privately, if you're connected with me on Instagram and you want to just send a message with a screenshot or whatever it is for accountability, you can do that too. I'm just trying to think of multiple ways we can accomplish the same thing, because the most important thing of all of this is for you to grasp the scale has less and less power if you have more and more value in the work you do. I am not talking fairy tales when I say this. I'm talking from experience. There are much less instances where I am moved by the scale now than ever before. I'm not saying I'm never moved by the scale. I'm saying it happens way less because I am confident in the work that I do. And if we can make you confident in the work you're doing, you'll see the same thing as me, that the scale result has less and less power because your aim is to be better in the work, not to create a result on the scale, because the result on the scale will come the better you make the work that you're doing. I can't make you get this. I cannot make you get this. It is so simple that it is the answer. But so many people want to make things so much more complex. Oh, it's not that way for me. Yes, it is that way for you. It's as simple as that. Whatever you're not doing, you need to do. If you're doing everything, you need to do it better. It's that simple. It's so easy for us to cheer for other people. So easy for us to see someone else's success and clap along with them. Are you out there right now? Could you say this? If you're out there and you hear the sound of my voice, could you say this right now? I'm not happy with where I'm at right now, but I'm grateful I'm not where I used to be. If that's you, if you're out there right now, or maybe you're just starting out, maybe you're at the beginning. If all of your life, think about all of the times you've tried to be successful at a healthy lifestyle. Think about it right now. Take a minute and think about it. Pause me if you need to pause my voice. And think about all of the times you've attempted this. I'm willing to bet in Vegas that all of the times in the past you have depended on the scale to define your success or failure in what you're trying to do. I'm willing to bet in Vegas that that's how the case went for every other instance. But today I'm asking you for a recommitment with a new focus, a focus in the work you're doing, not the result. Listen, how long have you been looking at the result? How long have you felt like a failure? How much longer do you have to feel like a failure until you see there is another way? I'm sitting here, you're digging a hole, and your only tool to get out of the hole is a shovel. And I'm sitting here with a rope, and I can pull you out. But you have to grab the rope. I am not going to dive in there with you and put the rope around you. You've got to want it. It has to start with you. You know, no one out there is ever going to believe in you, in anything you say, until you've already achieved success. No one is ever going to cheer for you until the work is already done. And the one thing I need you to take away from this whole episode is, you will never be successful if you waste your time saying one thing but doing another. And the whole purpose of this episode, the whole idea of you finding success in the work you're doing is to do simply this. It is to force you to do what you say you're going to do. Now, I want you to think about something. How many times in your life have you say you're going to do something, and how many times did you actually do it? Give me a percentage. If that's 70%, you're living an average life. If it's 80%, you're living a good life. If it's 90%, you're achieving greatness. Now, why is 90% greatness? Because perfection is not required. Consistency is required. But my concern today is how many of you out there are doing less than 70%? How many of you out there are wasting time believing yourself to be a failure? Can't you see it yet? The whole idea of failure is a lie. It is a farce. It is a complete illusion. You are only a failure on Monday if you quit on Tuesday. Everything else is an illusion. It is time to refocus and recommit to something new. Creating pride in the work you do. Because there is the real success. It is in the work. The results will come when they are ready. Your pride is in the work you put in to what you are trying to achieve. I love each and every one of you. God bless you all.